What's up, y'all? This is your boy Juro. It's the 17th of November, 2016. How you doing? I hope that your week is finding you well. You're able to sidestep the negativity by placing God first in everything you do, by grounding your feet, but having the courage to speak your truth. You know, today I have this feeling, not over me, but I got this feeling like, take note. Take note of what is about to be revealed. Hold on one second, y'all. And the irony of it all, it has nothing to do with me at all. But it's being brought to my attention. I'm feeling my discernment echo. Take note. Take note. Watch what's about to be revealed. And with any example that is found in your day to day, if you decide to just take a second to ground your feet, just take note, you're going to learn something. There's going to be an opportunity to understand something that may have been prevalent but went under the radar. Something that may have been subsequently there the whole time. Now, I don't have to tell you, y'all, unfortunately, on this earthly realm, because you are a spiritual being, you are going to come in contact with people that sound like you, look like you, share the same work environment as you, even if you're connected by blood or bone, that have perception of your life. Because see, it takes too much courage for someone to put their cards on the table. But it takes authenticity to look at them. I got this feeling, y'all. And it's not me. It's kind of like seeing a storm in the distance form. And as it forms, it gets darker. You start to scale how big it is and consider how volatile it may be. But you still see its momentum. Now, I could be the type of person, like so many people that you do know, that live for the moment, easily is distracted, and not appreciate or protect my time. But this message is for somebody. Whatever you thought you knew, the pieces, the evidence, the things that had you scratching your head, the payoff is coming. The release is going to happen. And this brings me to this. Was it worth it? Did you hear what I said? Was it worth it? Everything that you did to bring you to this point, take a second and be honest with yourself to answer that one question. Was it worth it? Because see, from a literal sense, what's at stake is the protection of your legacy. To protect your legacy, you must understand your purpose. Why are you here? You can't sit up here and say that question has not crossed your mind. Even more so when things are not in your control. The perspective always comes right before you. Time for you to take a second and acknowledge what is apparent now. Because from the moment that you took your first breath to the placement of your feet right now has always been progressive. The motivation and the momentum never stopped. So I have to ask you again, was it worth it? All those moments of sacrifice, all those evidence of time and time again of things being revealed before you, left for you to figure it out. Was it worth it? But here's the thing about it, because we have to operate on this earthly realm, but we are spiritual beings first. See, right now the devil thinks he's winning. He thinks he's winning, y'all, because he's already put in place socially to influence the young. He uses tools to romanticize things that should be ridiculed and not possessed. Oh, he likes doing that. He likes to play with the senses to keep you watching. But you know what's sad, y'all? And here's the thing. I'm good. Gerald stays prayed up. I am. This is for you. Somebody's about to make a decision that has not been thought through. And it's going to seem sweet in the beginning for quite some time, long enough to get you to disconnect from yourself completely. And then you're going to understand who was the player and who was the pawn. Was it worth it? See, unless you are in an environment where there is no means of communication, what has been deemed that should be condemned is placed on idolization. What should be mocked and separated from is being embraced. Does it surprise you? Everything has flipped. Good is not protected. Bad is embraced. So does it surprise you that little Johnny acts like Susie and little Susie acts like Billy, and none of them know who they are? And the payoff is because they know not what they are, who they are, they do not know where they should go. They have no clue on why the journey and the road that they're on has so many deviations and obstacles. Never taking a second to assess what, how, and who aided in that decision. Because the truth of the matter is this: when you decide to look back, the same people that were there giving you the standing ovation will not be there. There won't be any accountability. There won't be any accountability. There won't be any ownership. You will be left to pick up the pieces. You will understand what it means to be disenfranchised. And love will be nowhere in the equation at all. I got this feeling, y'all. Somebody, could be you, could be someone that you're connected to by blood or bone or by spirit. You're going to see it. And you might not have to be the one that has to endure, but you're going to feel the effects of it. And it's going to have you shook to your core. Because see, the real you, that little boy, that little girl that lives inside you, that has been aching and crying and screaming for you to finally represent yourself. Something's going to give. But that's okay, y'all. Because even when we don't deserve it, because of the choices we make. Yes, free will all day. You can't expect a reaction without the action. So therefore, you got to put yourself front and center. God is still there. That was the promise he made when you took your first breath. But let's be real, y'all, since we want to use that term. Some of y'all feel that as long as you do not go into that sacred place, you know, your emotions, you're going to be fine. As long as you have a detached, it's okay to have a detached position about your reality, but you ain't supposed to have a detached opinion about yourself. Why? Because you got to do the work. You got to sow those seeds. And you got to feel the effects of choices made. How many times, how many signs do you have to allow to be placed right before you to say, message, before you stop and take note? You saying to yourself, Gerald, I hear what you're saying, but you know, I've never struggled this much ever. Yes, I want support, Gerald. I do, but I just can't find myself to ask for it. Didn't God say that? Didn't God say, you have not because you have not asked? See, you don't need permission from anybody to love yourself. Did you hear what I said? You don't need validation from someone else to put that foot down. Oh, I will do this because, you know, listen, what you need to look at is what's been shown thus far. If your little friends gave a damn about your life, why they put you in that position to begin with? Why wasn't that conversation that should have been said 6 months ago? Who am I talking to? You've been racking your brain to figure something out that is very apparent, but emotionally, you feel it. You feel it. Every time you with these people, you feel a certain kind of way. You feel out of sync. Your circle was never your circle. Why do you think you're the one that's holding the bag? Either literally or figuratively. If they really loved you, if they were really down, why aren't they protecting you? Why aren't they empowering you? Even in times of fear. Because Mercy loves company, y'all. That's the payout. That's how the devil do. I'm going to give you what you want, but you're going to pay me what I need later. And that's why over and over and over and over and over again, you hear the stories. What goes up always comes down. But they had it going on yesterday, Gerald. They were the big man on. Can't rub two wooden nickels today. That was the price of their testimony if they decided to love themselves even more. But I also know that we live in a society where a person can turn around and tangibly give you the keys to unlock your life. But because you can't see the value in yourself, you don't take heed. Listen, y'all, if you are struggling, if you're going through something, or you are being plagued by a question, I know I'm talking to somebody, man. Yeah, that question that's always resonated inside you, but you kind of put it away. Now is the time that you stand and have the courage to do something you never did and let the real you be seen. Because I'm going to tell you what, my queens, you know I love you. As long as you keep breathing life in that false image that you proclaim, which we all know that's not you, it never was you. It is actually not even a fraction of who you really are. So you don't have to do extra to be you, but you are required to love all of you. Why? Because until you do the work, you can't be loved back. You can't turn around and say, well, why is it? I wish I had someone just would be able to talk to my heart and give me the compassion that I long for. Baby girl, why do you think God said, honor thy temple? That figuratively can be, that could be a metaphor for so many things. You could metaphorically use that as an example of the body. You could actually metaphorically use that to represent, yeah. You could metaphorically look at that as your foundation. But what is a temple that is not protected? To some, it just becomes a rest stop, a stopover. And what are stopovers? Place that you regroup and continue on. But guess what? There's no loyalty there. That's why when you go to some rest stops, there's trash on there's trash on the floor. Discarded stuff is everywhere. Your life is not one of them. Your life never was that. But I understand, because you say, well, Gerald, you could say that, but you don't have to see what's outside my window. What I see outside my window doesn't bring a smile or a song into my life, because there's so much pain. And that's why I choose to disconnect from it. I try to block it out. But see, no matter how hard you try to block it out, you cannot block you out. Why? That's your perspective. Maybe the reason you're seeing all this is because there's a message. And with every message, there's wisdom if you choose to take note. That's why God doesn't get the credit that he does. But he never asked our permission. He already knows your value. And he loves you more than you love yourself. But to truly be connected to yourself, you have to have that dialogue with him. You don't actually think you're going to just go through life and I'm just going to do whatever I want, say what I want, and react how I need, and expect your life going to play out the way you envision it. You don't actually think that, do you? Because I'm here to tell you it won't. And I know there's somebody say, oh, don't listen to them. He's just trying to spook you. No, I'm talking to your spirit. But guess what? How can you protect yourself from those who will never see your worth if they don't represent it first as the example? Maybe that's the reason why you're always arguing. Maybe that's the reason why you feel like you are. They don't get me, Gerald. They don't get you because you refuse to get you. Maybe what you need to do is get inside of you. You've thought about that? But see, I know in the intended moment, intended time, intended heart, intended mind, this video is going to ring bells to somebody. So this is a precursor of what's to come. As long as you continue to allow that rebellion to take footing in your life, be prepared that there's going to be a price to pay. And they always start subtle. They always start subtle. No matter how methodical you try to be to try to outwit your environment, guess what? It has no merit on the spirit world. Maybe that next calculated move that you thought out thinking it was foolproof was the next move that was going to bring you closer to your demise. Who am I talking to? Doesn't matter how many times well, we're going to do it this way, and we're going to do that way, and we're going to go do this, and bam, we out. Who am I talking to? Those ain't your friends. Those are your oppressors. Doesn't matter if they look like you. Because the fact of the matter is, they never saw your worth. They only saw you as a resource, no different than a Duracell battery. They liked what you brought to the table, but haven't you come to understand that when you lay the cards out proverbially of what you bring to the table, you always get a to be continued from them, excuse from them. You always get non-accountability from them. How can you build anything with them if they ain't building on them? But I got this. You have some people that actually believe. You want to dabble with the occult? Go right ahead. But just know this. Just like that temple, that temple has a door. That's why anything that is sacred has a door. You don't actually think that demons are going to be like Casper the Friendly Ghost. Demons don't help, they destroy. Maybe what's going on is the sucking off of your energy level. Maybe that's the reason why you're tired these days. Who am I talking to? Maybe that's the reason why your sex drive is through the roof. I just can't. I just need. No, you don't need to do nothing but heal. That frustration you feeling, you think, oh, well, if I get that quick, I'm back to square. No, you just robbed yourself of focus and energy that should have been placed back on you. But those people that have your strings are not going to tell you that. They're just praying that you don't discover it before the work that they're doing, that they're campaigning for, is complete. The end goal is for you to deplete all that makes you you. Maybe that's why they will tell you, I don't want to talk about my past. I've got problems. Tell you exactly what they want, what you want to hear. Don't be misled. Stick to your guns. Speak your truth. Who am I talking to? You do understand the longer you stay grounded and draw closer to God, the more He's going to show you. Even in disappointment, you don't get no badge on playing the role of the concubine. See, a concubine don't get married. She doesn't inherit her real name, her true name. That's her married name. Because she goes unclaimed. No different than a coat left in a nightclub unchecked. I think that's going to resonate with somebody talking to your heart. But at the end of the day, y'all, what's at stake is the makings of you. You may be saying, well, Gerald, I hear what you're saying, but my money's not right. There's plenty of things I want to do, but I got to get there first. Get back inside you. Don't you understand anything that's divinely meant is going to come to pass with or without your permission? You do understand that, right? You do understand that that's what the devil doesn't want you to see. That's why he gives you what you want. That's why he's in your life. And that's why there's no love to be found. That's why she is not prepared to step into the role of your better half. So you can't buy love, y'all. It's created from your spirit. But see, you keep looking at these false demigods out here saying, no, do what you like. Have at it. YOLO. You know, the same people that's yelling YOLO don't plan on seeing their life to the end. They don't plan on leaving a legacy that those who are going to come from you are going to have to walk. Because you understand right now, y'all, the state of the world, our babies are at risk. I ain't got to tell you. Go to your friendly neighborhood Wally World and look at the wall by the bathroom. Those pictures keep going up. They don't reduce. They keep multiplying. That's somebody's baby. That's somebody's son. That's someone's daughter. That's someone's mother. That's someone's brother. You don't see that? They say, technically, and I don't get me wrong, but they say guesstimate every day 17,000 people disappear. So you can say a greater percentage of those that are not accounted for were impressionable. But you think that someone didn't take note? You think that someone didn't see the uniqueness in that person, the potential in that person? You realize how much pain is built off of the word potential? You can't live off the word potential. Well, he's handsome. He's very intellectual when he's applied. He has the potential to be a good husband, but he'll never be yours. She has all these gifts and talents. She's just rough around the edge. She has the potential of being somebody. But having the potential of being somebody and knowing who you are, they are two polar opposites. Because see, this person, The becoming has to come from within. There must be a commitment there. And in that commitment is the preparation of the direction. And in that direction, the purpose is revealed. What's at stake is the person you want to become. You can't sit up here and tell me that somebody right now is waking up saying, you know what? I never thought I was going to be a junkie. You know what? I didn't think that I'd be incarcerated. You know what? I never thought I'd be in my teens and I'd be HIV positive. But it happens. And the messages have been said and put out there elegantly. Once again, they like to romanticize you. They like to keep you from looking at what you should stay focused on. Everything. Look at the politics. They're already asking, is he going to get a special prosecutor? Stop worrying about what's outside your door and get back to one. Focus on you. Because if you don't know you, you're not going to be able to prepare what they're going to show you. But trust and believe. Those that are impressionable will be the first ones to be consumed. You do understand there's always been a spiritual battle, right? And the battle is for you. You are the spiritual key that is going to be the linchpin of what your family tree is going to look like. But do you know what you look like? Is that little boy or little girl that's inside you happy with what they see looking out? Or are you the indentured servant to your reality? Because see, at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you right now, all those people that cause you to feel pain, to be disheveled, to have to pick the pieces up when life got hard. As long as you make a conscious decision not to love yourself, you just basically said that experience meant nothing. It was in vain. But God also said you're going to reap what you sow. He did say that. That's why he's a jealous but loving God. So tell the truth. Shame the devil. What you afraid of? What's keeping those shackles placed on you? What's got you so frozen that you don't think you deserve to be nurtured? Even the most beautiful plant can't grow without the roots to support the stem. And I understand, because generational curses is nothing but knowledge not passed to the next, and wisdom that was not embraced, based off of the knowledge and the perception that it was given. Who am I talking to? Some of y'all don't want to admit it, but one of your greatest fears has always been this. You're afraid that you're going to end up being like that loved one. And you doing everything in your power so that that prophecy doesn't come to pass. But I'm going to tell you what. Maybe the wisdom was the fact of you identifying that it exists. I told you, you running around with a broken heart, it's gonna stay broken until you admit to yourself that it was broken. See, God can't give you what you need unless you ask for it. But that devil darn sure will give you what you want to keep you from getting it. And I know you're saying that's a contradiction, girl, because at one time nobody was checking for me. But now I gotta beat him off with a stick. Now all I have to do is bat my eyes or say something and I got him. We are what we attract, y'all. Don't you get it? That's how they do. That's how demons work. So right now you might be thinking that you're getting blessed by the attention, the touch, the desires. Till the reality hits you that no, you wasn't the prize. You were the sacrifice. And the pain continues to come over and over and over and over again. And does it surprise you? You ain't got time these days. You a little bit more bitter these days. Your attention span is shorter these days, and your patience is non-existent. Maybe that's the reason why your emotions is on 25. Because people don't get you, but they get you. And then when the reality reveals all, you have to admit to yourself, you got God. That's not your story. That's not your story. But if you keep listening to those people, one day what's going to happen is you're going to look in the mirror. You ain't going to recognize who's looking back. You ain't going to recognize. And you're going to feel a certain kind of way. Some of y'all going to be shook. Because the emptiness is not going to match the presentation. Why are you sitting there dreaming about a happy ever after when you created every moment you decide to invest in you? Little Chauncey can't give you happiness. You get that yourself. I'm telling you what you already know. That's the one beautiful thing I love about God. The common denominator or the thread that you find in this channel, which keeps me grounded, keeps me humble, is I know that you want to be happy. You tired of the BS. You tired of feeling unappreciated. And you know you deserve better. Why you think you having those mood swings? Why you think you have those impulsive decisions or choices? Oh, there's plenty of energy to keep you distracted from you. But every time that you try to put focus on yourself, oh, here they come. Here they come. Waiting to talk you from yourself. Why? They don't have a relationship with themselves, and they don't want you to have a relationship with yourself. Why do you think God professed? You can't be yoked with unyoked people. But here's the beautiful thing about it. Because we have free will, that's a choice. If you know what you need, why won't you do what is required to bring you one step closer? If you know that your path requires that you have to invest in your education. You see it. It's not by chance you keep having that same vision. That's the you that's done the work, trying to reach the you that is here now to say, come on, come on, put that foot down. Put that foot down and put your weight on it and stand in it. That brings you one step closer to your dreams, your reality. But see, you're going to have people that are going to tell you, no, I want you to party like it's 1999. I want you to turn around and turn up. I want you to turn around and don't see value in your body. You can give it to anybody twice on Sunday, every day of the week, if that's what you want to do. But be prepared. There's a price. From a literal sense, guess what? You don't get the person that was blessed to be in your life that will truly unlock the spiritual keys to the other side of your life. You can't. You won't have that person. You'll actually, 9 times out of 10, it always plays out this, you'll watch your blessing be appreciated by someone else. And you'll have to live with the fact of, they got away. They never got away. You didn't get closer to God. And because you didn't get closer to God, you couldn't get closer to yourself, because that meant you would have to atone. That's why I keep trying to tell you, there's no benefits in holding secrets. Secrets are nothing but truth without a voice. But it is the truth that will set you free. Maybe that's the reason why you feel numb. Maybe that's the reason why you can't get it together no matter what the frustration is. I got the master plan, Gerald. I got it right here. It was foolproof, but it didn't come to pass. It didn't come to pass because you didn't see the small print. You didn't see the investment that was required. We are what we attract, y'all. You don't believe me? Just take a drive by your friendly neighborhood cemetery. Drive by it. When you drive by it, just know this. Half the people that are in there shouldn't be there now. Half of those people went before their times. Half those people were deceived and were not grounded. That's how devil works. You will not know the moment nor the time when it cometh. Comes like a thief in the night, don't it? Same as how the devil do. On the outside, you Mr. got it going on, got everything working. But behind closed doors, you barely holding on. You're paranoid. You're afraid that if you don't commit, they're going to take it away from you. Well, guess what? They're going to take it away from you anyway if it was not blessed. Because anything without works is dead anyway. How about them friendships? They've been dead for a long time, but you're still with them, ain't you? Them bonds that you thought were going to last forever, like a Keith Sweat song. You ain't close no more, are you? Can people change? Every day. But guess what? If they were your friends, don't you think that was a conversation that should have been held day one? You teach people how you want to be treated. But before you can even put that out there, you got to have a dialogue. That means sender, receiver, communication, coming to resolution. Spawns insight and growth. But hey, it's not my life, it's yours. So just know this, when it comes, when that epiphany happens, when that validation is presented right in front of you, just remember, Gerald told you why you seeing this. I want you to be happy, but I can't do your work. But trust and believe, that devil don't want you to do jack. He wants you to keep the loyalty where it is so he can continue to distract you from you, ultimately equaling death. You're priceless, y'all. Take the price tag off of your life and claim it. God is praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. And for that, it helps me discern mine. You know what's really sad? There are going to be people that you know, it might be even you, that will not do anything. And what will occur is you'll know it because they'll be still doing the same thing they were doing before you met them, even now. Claim your life back. Place God first in everything you do. Be blessed.